Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Star Wars The Black Series figure review, and today we have one I've been waiting for long months, which is the deluxe Cobb Vanth. Anyway, even if we don't agree that he should, why is he a deluxe? They just spread the stuff. And is now every character with a removable helmet a deluxe, or because he's not a larger guy? I don't know. He just happens to be a deluxe now. We have to play the game, and there he is, and he's looking great. Actually, I'm very excited to finally have this figure, even if I got it like several months after everybody else, kind of. There you have the little bio. If you want to read it, let me focus and pause it now. You have the artwork. What was the name of the actor? Timothy Oliphant, if I'm right, or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't be harsh, please. And if, by the way, if you're here, please leave a like, share and subscribe. That helps me a lot and I'll be very thankful. So without further rambling around, let's just take him out and see how good he actually is. And there we have Cobb Vanth out of the packaging with everything he comes with. First of all, he comes with this rifle. I don't know if I've seen this one before. If you know from which, is this like a Rebel rifle, or is it like a first time seeing sculpt that we get to see for the first time with this figure? I mean, at least, of course, these like white bandages around the handle. I mean, yeah, the handle and the, you know, here. Maybe those are unique to this sculpt, but I don't know if the weapon is, you know, a first timer. He has this kind of intergalactic revolver stylized weapon, which I think again is a first time. I mean, that might be exclusive to this character. Looking good. He comes with this little weird, very specifically formed neckerchief, or whatever you call this. He comes wearing it, but I removed it just for the sake of showing you the things that you can easily remove. You could remove the armor overlay, but you would have to cut it. And I mean, if you are a customizer, you know that thing, but I'm not a customizer, at least not yet, and I'm not willing to destroy the only copy I have of the figure. You know, here's the jetpack without the kind of rocket, which is exclusive to this character. Looking good. This tip, this part, I mean, it comes all together in the box, but I took the liberty just to take it off. But I like this variant, you know, because it makes it different from when Boba Fett is wearing his stuff. And you can see for the place where Han Solo damaged his jetpack in Return of the Jedi, they didn't sculpt like a little plate there. They just painted a silver stripe, and that should give you the idea that that's a whole piece of metal welded in top of the jetpack, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's this thing, and this is the very same jetpack, if I'm right, that we have with the deluxe Boba Fett from a couple of years ago from the Return of the Jedi. But of course, the different paint job, and these things are, instead of silver, they are white. And they can move around, as you can see, just the same as with the previous figure. Actually, I'm just gonna show it to you because I have it here, so you can see the difference yourself, and you can see, of course, that the tip or the rocket is totally different and much shorter. But this one is like a shorter but a broader tip. And then we have the helmet, which, if I'm right, is the same helmet piece that we have with the Boba Fett, again with a different paint job. Has a bit more scuffing in the Cobb Vanth variant here, and I really like it. I am very happy to have because this figure, the Boba Fett, had I think a Temuera Morrison head below, just unpainted, so it's technically a glued removable helmet. So here we have an unglued and actually planned to be removable helmet. It's a very, I put the helmet and the whole figure in hot water because some things were, as I say, frozen, or as they say, I'm sorry. So now the helmet took its real form or shape, and maybe it's a bit more loose than it should be. You can, I mean, you can see the head is, I mean, the neck is on a ball peg to the upper torso, which gives a lot of range, which is always great. He can look up that far, he can look down that far, and he has, due to the combination of ball pegs, he has a very nice tilt, neck to the head and neck to the torso. Anyway, if we remove this thing, pop, then we can put this neat little neckerchief. I think that's the way people say it. So once you manage to put that thing back on, that's how he looks with the neckerchief on, and it's made so it has a very thin, the plastic is very thin on the back. Doesn't matter, because that allows, I think they were thinking on giving him the possibility to look back, I mean up. So that's good that they decided, even if that makes the piece a bit fragile. He can sink into his neckerchief, and yeah, then you put the helmet on, and that's how he looks like wearing the helmet and the neckerchief. It's always supposed to look like a bit like the armor is not his size. That was intended to be so, but I like it. I like how it looks in figure form. Maybe it looks, I mean, of course you see that his shirt here, that he's taller than Boba Fett. I think, actually, let's see if they did that. Yeah, there you can see. I don't know if it's the actual size difference that should be, but there you have it. There you have him wielding his space revolver, and you can see that very nice glove he's wearing. I mean, his hand sculpt is unique to him, I guess, to this character, and it looks really, really cool, I think. And that's how he looks like wielding the rifle. There you have him in a bit of an action stance with the rifle, and yeah, blasting off with everything he comes with. So that should be a deluxe figure, just that you know. Now, just another little thing you should know about this figure is that it's of course compatible. I mean, these are the same arm, like well, it's the Boba Fett armor, so it's the same sculpt as the Return of the Jedi one, so it's compatible with the flame effect, the flamethrower effect that comes with that Boba Fett figure. So you can have Cobb Vanth just throwing the flames and, I mean, blazing all around, and you can also have him blasting off with the fire effect, I mean the propulsion effects for the jetpack, so he could really, like, I'm just doing a very weird flight pose, but you know what I mean. I mean, if you have the figure, of course, you know it even better than me, so you have a very simple, yeah. Now, articulation wise, Cobb Vanth, again, he can look up that far, he can look down that far, he can tilt to the sides with the head, and of course can turn all the way around, and we just did it as wild as we could. He can lift the arms to a T-pose, even with those shoulder pads, because those are part of the flexible vest he's wearing. I don't know if he can even, well, I'm just leaving it like that. Maybe he can even lift more, but I don't want to force, to stress that plastic, you know. He can turn all the way around. You could do that, I just did. He has butterfly joints, so the arms can go backwards. Let's actually do like that far, forwards that far. So you can actually, I mean, that helps. It's not the greatest range, but it has some range, and it helps. I think this arm moves a bit better to the front, that butterfly joint. Now the arms can, oh, sorry. The arms can bend that far, a bit over 90 degrees. This one not that much, which is sad. This one a bit more, which is great. That's where you get your bicep swivel. I mean, that no bicep swivel, is all at the elbow. The gauntlets can, I mean, they have a swivel, both. He has a gauntlet swivel, bracelet, gauntlet, whatever you call that. This hand can turn all the way around and has an in and out swivel, or a horizontal one, as I like to say, or maybe that's maybe the right way to call it. And this one has a vertical one, and it's the hand with the trigger finger, so it's good to have the combination. Now he has a diaphragm joint that can bend forward almost nothing. That's a bit sad. Can bend backwards that far, that there he has a lot of range backwards, but almost none going forward. I can see that maybe this piece is glued there. Oh, or maybe you do have to cut it. Anyway, he has a bit of tilt to the sides. That's actually quite good. Just sadly he has almost no range forward. Nothing at the waist. That's just a different plastic put together line. Is not like a waist cut. I mean, it's literally it's a cut bit, but no swivel, you know. He can do that far, I mean the splits that far, which is not bad for a non-Spider-Man character. This belt is a separate piece. I mean, well, it's part of the both belts are like put together, but the holster is hanging there, and it doesn't get in the way with the splits and all of that. He has the thigh cuts that can go all the way around. Of course, the legs can bend slightly over 90 degrees backwards. Can both do so, yeah. No boot cut, and he has, I mean, the feet can go backwards that far and go forwards that far, and he has a decent ankle rocker. Yeah, it's a very good one actually. So for size comparisons, there we have the Armorer, the Death Watch Mandalorian, and Paz Vizsla, or the Heavy Armor Mandalorian or something like that. Looking great all together. Next to a G.I. Joe classified Cobb Vanth and a Valaverse Action Force, what was the name? Steel Brigade Night Ops. Next to a Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, and a Stormtrooper. And next to the deluxe Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, Din Djarin in Beskar armor, well, Din Djarin, Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves, looking great. And now let's just remove that helmet. I think this figure is great. Only shame for me is like his diaphragm joint is a bit limited, well, quite limited when bending forward. That would help a lot, of course, with any kind of fighting character, you know. Anyway, I do recommend this guy if you haven't got one yet, or if you were on the fence. Of course, I know that it's not like, there's no reason he should really be a deluxe figure, or like most of all of us see it like that, but I think that head sculpt is great. The removable helmet is a really nice piece to have. I mean, the whole figure is a really nice looking one. That's just my opinion. I would like to have better range on both elbows actually, especially this one seems to be really 90 degrees, and what's that nowadays, 90 degrees? I mean, come on. And yeah, but otherwise it's it's a really good looking figure, and I think yeah, it's one that catches the eye and calls you to get it and fiddle with it, you know. Anyway, please leave a like, share and subscribe. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.